So the guy my mother met in that mental hospital, she stayed in about a month ago for 3 weeks, or 12, no, I'm sorry, for 12 days. Actually, I guess it's 2 months ago she went in now, June 19th, right? Anyway, told her he loved her. And of course she told me. And then when I ignored it because I had to bite my tongue, she says it again, you know. It's sad, you know, because my mom's sweet, but do any of you really, really believe that this guy who, like my shelter friend point blank said to me, you know, Laura, when someone's in that mental hospital, that person, when a person's in a mental hospital, she is supposed to be, you know, concentrating on getting better, not concentrating on how he can help another patient in there. So she's as cynical as hell, like I am, and she said he smelled money. My mom mentioned the $50,000, you know, and then some. Because with my mother's other assets, including her 401k, it's more than 50, okay? Anyway, do any of you really believe he loves her? She mentioned it again, like, Mom, I don't want to hear it. She mentions him, and I'm like, you know, I have to bite my tongue, but I'm like, Mom, do you really think he's in love with you? Did he say he was in love with you? Yeah, he did. And then I pushed it. No, well, he says, you know, I love you very much. That's as a friend, if it's even true. He's not in love with her. He just met her in the mental hospital. He's going through his own fucking shit. And I said, and then she'll say, like, he's strange, you know, I call him, he doesn't call me back, I didn't hear from him. I'm like, Mom, what do you expect? You met him in a mental hospital. Yeah, Laura, but he's the first person I ever met in a mental hospital who had a really good job. Mom, he tells you he has a really good job. You believe anything anybody tells you. Anything. So there's your one update, and it fell by the wayside, this fighting Marion thing. I wound up, because my aunt died, you know, passed away. I wound up staying here longer. Plus I'm trying to take care of shit. And before I go see my musician ex, who's going to flip out when he sees how skinny I am, how thin, whatever, compared to the fact that last time I saw him I was 232 pounds. I'm 70 pounds less, okay? I saw him. I have things I want to do, I have to do ahead of time. Had to get Omar to the vets. Decided to bite the bullet and get his teeth done. My longtime friends who knew me in my California video creating days, my LA, you know, and I was creating very angry, drunken, often drunken videos that are all on private. Know that neither Donald nor his mother gave a flying fuck about Omar's teeth, okay? And never cared about him eating his dry dog food or having chew toys or, you know, anything, nothing. And they would feed him crap like potato chips. Particularly she would, and he wouldn't say anything because he needed mommy, you know, needed his mommy to cover his bank account when he would constantly bounce it from buying his computer toys and whatnot. That's old news, okay? Omar's teeth are disgusting. I knew that. You can tell by his breath, and I've told you guys in videos before, they're all in private. An animal is exactly like us. And Hope, Donald's mom, was so ignorant. She could be so smart in some ways and so ignorant in others. In the olden days, you know, she would be like, they didn't have to worry about their teeth. They just fed up. Yeah, they used to give them bones, Hope. It was so different in the quote-unquote olden days. Dogs would eat anything back then, Laura. It's different now. You know, dogs were out in the wild sometimes, or even when they had owners, they weren't lap dogs like Omar, and you know, it's like him never brushing his teeth, or anyone brushing his teeth, okay, Omar, any dog, and being fed constant crap, even our chicken and, even all that, and not being given anything to at least wash some of the tartar away. It's like us, we human beings, never brushing, never flossing, and just letting that build up and build up and build up for 6.5 years, okay? Yeah, I'm worried about the anesthesia part of this. But you know what? Elmer had to go into anesthesia when, he finally got neutered. So, that teeth decay can spread. I mean, it can, you can prolong your pet's life by having their teeth done. And I tried that natural pet whatever, and it's not gonna, it didn't do, I tried it. It's not going to do the same thing as, sure, it can help after he gets a complete scaling, whatever. So it's going to happen this week, and yeah, I'm going to be terrified. But if it's almost time to go, it's almost time to go. Look at that woman. I don't know how many of you are aware of this. I forget where it happened. Maybe it happened around here in Massachusetts. I don't know. It doesn't really matter where it happened. She steps out on her balcony to have a cigarette. She didn't jump 17 stories up. Her balcony crumbled. It crumbled. Freak accident. She fell 17 stories and died. Okay. If it's your time to go, if it's almost time to go. But I'm leaving in a couple or so weeks for my musician exes, and it'll be a test for my mom to see how she does here. Because just now, because she'll say blah, 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 whatever about, I'm like, the refrigerator light's going, yeah, well, Mom, I hate that refrigerator. It's disgusting. You got it from a dead woman that Marion knew, and so who knows how long she had that refrigerator. You have all that money that's just going to go to Marion if anything happens to you, or even if you wind up in a home, it'll all go to Marion, okay? Get a new refrigerator. Get a new bed. Your room reeks of piss. I can't even be in there for 2 seconds without throwing up, practically, okay? The dog just peed on the mattress. It's disgusting. You have the money. Why don't you spend a little bit of it? It's all just going to go to my fucking cunt of an aunt anyway. My mom has no common sense to speak of, people. None. When I go to my musician exes for 1 to 2 months, as a mini vacation, he's the only guy on this planet I trust. Only one. But that's a miracle in and of itself. Because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't trust any man, period. Is that fair to the men that are good guys? No. But you know what? Even with these dating websites, I meet, guys, yeah, I'm hot for you. I'm hot for them, but I don't want to just be another notch on their bedpost, Just because I went from one long-term relationship to another, and the second one was abusive. I mean, I'm not looking for some kind of, to step into another relationship, but I still want excitement. I still want the build-up. I still want to be seriously seduced into a guy's bed and have him be wondering, am I going to get her into bed? Not just automatically thinking it's going to happen. Okay? I don't want that. Sure, I'm tired of being celibate. Sure, when these guys, it's a big ego boost, for me. Certainly, a great ego boost when these hot guys who are younger than me and hot and fit and whatnot want me, but in the end, it doesn't come down to that. In the end, I haven't had sex in over 5 years. I cannot just jump into bed with somebody. But when I go to my musician exes, it's going to be a test for my mother. A test. You know what she did the other day? You're not going to believe it. Actually, you will. She's an accident waiting to happen. My cousin, who visited me, from another state I hadn't seen in like 20 years. Well, I saw her at Matt's well, funeral, wake, funeral, and then the family cookout was a week later. That, you know, the family cookout that of course I didn't go to. It's one thing to hug my cousins and whatnot, and my uncle, who by the way has changed his phone number because he doesn't want anyone contacting him, and that includes my mom. Okay. Or it could be just because he doesn't want my mom contacting him, you know. I'm sure he gave his phone number to anybody he wants contacting him, and it's not my mom, so that's the way it goes. Anyway, where was I? Oh, didn't go to the family cookout yet. Cousin came down. She came and she stayed here overnight. She wanted to see me, wanted to see my mom, and you know, it was okay talking to her. Learned things from her I didn't want to learn about. It all ties into what I was saying about these men and Craigslist and the dating websites and, you know, yada yada yada. 50 to 80% of the population get cold sores, and it's actually, unfortunately, a more milder form. Actually, I'm sure it can be mild or not, but anyway, it's a form of herpes. It's just not a sexual herpes, you know. And found out and read on the internet that this, if you do certain activities to somebody, can transfer down there. Never knew that, never wanted to know that, and now I know that, because my cousin decided to tell me. She says sex isn't even worth it. She says, you know, because men just want, I didn't pipe up, oh yeah, but that's what I want, you know. She's like, if I can't have a relationship, she got out of a relationship, you know, she has a kid and whatnot, and she still is friends with her ex because she wants the kid to have to have as normal as can be with his parents split up. But she's like, I don't want FWB because you know the guy, he's an FWB with you, but he's FWB with how many other women? I know. It's all Russian roulette. And sex. Some fucking, you know. Just like when I waited forever, I had to lose my virginity. Didn't lose it till I was 25. You know, now I'm getting older and older, and I'm tired of being celibate. You know, but it has to be with the right guy. It has to be with somebody, like I said, even if I'm not looking for a boyfriend, I still need to trust the guy. He has to be somewhat of a friend, okay? And these guys don't understand that. They just want to fuck me, you know? And they're going to think that that's what you will want or accept if you're not looking, you know, for the full-on wine and dine and whatever. But I'm all messed up anyway, you know. Anyway, but my mom, when I came here, she had the tuna on the top shelf. So don't think that I suddenly decided to move the tuna to the top shelf. I reached the tuna without a chair, okay? My mom's only an inch, like half inch shorter than me. I don't know, or inch and a half, whatever. I don't know why she can't reach the damn tuna without a chair. I do. I mean, she probably hasn't even tried, or she doesn't want to. At her age, in her 60s, she shouldn't be getting up on chairs, okay? I don't know if you guys are even going to believe this or if the video is going to shut off before I even finish it. I go out there, don't even at first even see what's happened, and then of course I flip, as I usually flip when my mom does these just absolutely asinine, ridiculous things. I go out there and I'm like, she's up on the chair, I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm getting tuna. I'm like, you get up on the chair to get tuna? She's like, yeah. I'm like, isn't that where you always, I haven't moved it. You kept that tuna back in that back of that back shelf. I've never seen you always get, she's like, yeah, I always get up on the chair. start to walk away, and then I turn around for whatever reason. And I look down. Remember, this is my mother who's approaching 70. Remember, I admittedly am a klutz, okay? I do things that are stupid. But I'm in my 40s. Somebody who gets hurt, falls, whatever, in their 40s versus their 60s, it can often be a lot different, people. She had, first of all, when my cousin came in, this all ties in, because you know I always jump from one thing to another in videos, but it all ties into, it even ties into me wanting sex, okay?